the child because of eating the stranger chocolate. After sneezing, he turned into a cute little mouse. The Rat Queen wanted to have this cute little mouse, so she came to arrest him. But just like a second, she was caught in a glass jar. Hello everyone, today share two story with everyone. The boy would turn into a little mouse by the witch. He made friends with the brand of little mice and helped him to defeat the Rat Queen. And the story goes, Little Hawk had a car accident. Since then, Little Hawk could only rely on his grandmother. But whatever the grandmother did to make Hawk happy, he could it. There was no other way. The grandmother just had to catch a small mouse and hope that he could be friends with this mouse. Since then, every day Little Hawk stayed at home with the little mouse. Until one day, the witch saw Little Hawk. Grandmother got sick at that night. The grandmother told Little Hawk, in this world there are a kind of evil people. They practice magic, like trick children. And the grandmother told Little Hawk a story. The thing is, when she was young, she knew a girl who ate chocolates given by strangers. At night, her body began to change. Her head gradually turned into the chicken head and began to constantly dig down to find rice. Her legs also began to turn into chicken legs. When the grandmother saw her, she had completely turned into a hen. Only her knows this secret. So she often visited the hen in the hope of becoming a friend until the hen was roasted. The grandmother took the little mouse Mimi and Little Hawk to the hotel to participate in the Jews festival. At the same time, a group of women dressed in Motor Cities appeared in this hotel. Just a first look at the little stand, we could know this woman is not a good person. After grandmother slept, Little Hawk and Mimi came to the street to play. They did not expect to see the secret of this group. Little Hawk heard the secret of this meeting. It turns out that was a group of witches in the lore. Their mouths are wide open with green faces. They spy through a few hundred years with all thanks to this appearance. Some witches did not obey. They were immediately strung with electric batons until there was no trace left. This time they were meeting to teach each other a new skill. They just need to take the potion and bring it to the kitchen. The children who ate food in the kitchen instantly turned into rats. At that time, Little Bang came. After eating, his knee and his body disappeared. This made Little Hawk scared. It turns out that Little Bang actually turned into a big fat mouse. Little Bang did not understand what was happening. The witches all wanted to trample Little Bang to death. Fortunately, Little Bang was saved by Mimi. He was pulled through the ventilation duct. Little Bang, Little Hawk, and Mimi suddenly became good friends. At the same time, White Mouse discovered that Little Hawk was eavesdropping on their meeting. They said that they would definitely turn Little Hawk into a mouse. Sao Bang and Mimi were extremely worried. White Mouse was pouring the medicine bottle. Little Black also instantly transformed into a black mouse. Mimi bravery once again in mode, directly beat the witch. They helped Little Hawk to escape from the witch in time. The witch's hand could be extended like a tube. She tried to catch the three kids. After escaping, the three children were all breathless. They all had to tell honest people about witch's identity. But now they have all been turned into mice. What can they do to catch somebody's attention? Little Bang's body was too fat to act. Because of wanting to go back to their grandmother, the three children immediately started thinking about how to take the elevator. But suddenly they were discovered by the cleaner. They risked their lives to flee. Luckily, they eventually ran into grandmother's side. Little Hawk desperately called her grandmother. Grandmother thought she was hallucinating, but when she had confirmed that sound was not fake. Until this time, her grandson was turned into a mouse by the witch. The grandmother agreed to help them to find the witch, but now they have to prepare the plan carefully.
Actually, Mimi was also a little girl before. Because eating stranger chocolates, she was turned into this. Little Bang does not need to say. Also because of eating strange chocolate. But Little Bang is very optimistic. This time, he still did not forget to eat. At this moment, the service staff came to get the mousetrap. Little Bang saw the sound of cheese. The grandmother could not help it. The grandmother silently observed. Then she discovered White Mouse drunk was on her body. Because they wanted to get that, Little Hawk was caught in shock by his grandmother and take it to the door of White Mouse's room. Little Black lit his small body and sneaked into the room. Finally, he found the potion. But because his body was too small, how can I get this potion back here? He asked himself. When the witch did not pay attention, Little Hawk quickly ran to the sock. Here again, they made the problem how to use the potion. The grandmother took a potion and started making the antidote. Looked like maybe grandmother is also a witch. But the three kids were worried. The grandmother mantra. The antidote has failed. Little Black comforting his grandmother. It's okay. They could wait for grandmother to think another way. And they came up with the best way. Little Hawk took the potion through the ventilation hole to the kitchen. When the chef was doing something else, he carefully poured the potion into the broth in order to avoid injuring other guests. The grandmother took Little Bang to stop the other guests. Customers to see mice in the hotel's own runaway. Waiting for mealtime, only the witches left. After they drink the soup, one by one they were pitifully turned into mice. As long as they all turn into mice, the witch will definitely take out the antidote. After a while, Mao wide unbearable. Three children carefully snuck into the witch's rooms. Grandmother was not unlucky to be discovered by the witch. White Mouse said it would turn grandmother into a hen. Little Bang and Little Hawk became worried. They used the mouse traps to climb the witch's head. The witch was really hurt. She was screaming bitterly. At this time, she brought the potion over. White Mouse was on her own, turned into an nauseous fat mouse. She didn't bypass the three kids. She took the mousetrap and chased Little Bang. But now could she admit that she was being fooled? Grandmother took a lock and made the white mouse trap inside. Little Bang and Mimi danced in front of to piss her off. But what she could only do was glare. Finally, the witch was caught by a black cat, turned into the black cat's breakfast. At the end of the story, the grandmother took three children home. That grandmother had no way to turning them back into humans, but she loves three children. Also because they did a fun trip in the adventure playground. Every day is also happy. The grandmother now can see Little Hawk's happiness ever since he was born. In heart, she is also extremely relieved. Whatever the nephew turns into, happiness is the most important thing. Above is a new fantasy movie which has been released recently. Comparing to previous movies, this magic is very powerful. Furthermore, the little mouse is much more adorable. The witch is extremely scary. For those of you who love animals, don't miss it. One day, one movie. Thanks for interested. Movie Water Lemon. This is fantastic movie, which